Hi friends, this is a trigger warning to let you know that we've shared some personal experiences with body image and fat shaming in this podcast that may be traumatizing and triggering to listeners. Thank you. Hi Talia.
Hi Mehru.
How are you?
I am doing very well, thank you, and I hope all our listeners are doing well, and I hope you're doing well, Mehru.
I'm doing well too, thank you. And yes, hello everybody. Thanks for watching episode number 6. And thanks for all the love on episode 5 as well. Thank you for all the questions you sent us. Yeah, Talia. So first of all, you look very beautiful in your suit. ठीक है, you look like a professional newscaster. So ऐसा लग रहा है मैं अभी जियो न्यूज़ देख रही हूँ और अभी आप हमें बताएंगी कि बाहर का मौसम कैसा है.
जी, दरअसल ऐसा है कि बाहर की फिजा को देख के लगता है कि आगे धूप का निकलना कोई चांस नहीं है.
बिल्कुल
सिर्फ
भी
बारिश
नहीं.
ही बारिश है. तो
बिल्कुल.
इसलिए इस बारिश के मौसम में और ठंड के मौसम में हम आपको खुश करने के लिए आए हैं हमारे पॉडकास्ट के साथ.
बिल्कुल. और episode 6 is going to be a good one too today. So today I'm going to introduce a topic. After a long time, I know Talia on the spot हमेशा introduce करती रहती है topic and I feel so bad for you Talia. तो आज मैं try करूँगी introduce करना topic और Talia अगर मुझसे गलती हो गई तो मुझे माफ कर दीजिएगा और please उसमें add कर दीजिएगा जितनी जल्दी हो सके, ठीक है? Yeah.
I just want everybody to realize that this is the effect of the suit because I'm wearing a suit today. So listeners, Mehru is giving me a lot of love and respect right now, and as if I have some authority over the recording, but clearly I do. So Mehru, मैं आपको जरूर माफ करूंगी अगर आपने कोई गलती की. So let's begin.
मेरा बस दिल चाह रहा है आपको मिस तालिया कहने का या मैडम तालिया.
I prefer Madam Talia.
Madam, I just feel like there's some authority. Very nice though. It's good to look this powerful.
I told you, I feel like a principal right now.
Yeah, 100%. So Miss Talia, and our listeners and audience, आज का episode number 6 is all about body shaming and body image. Clearly this topic is very close to us और हमने पहले भी इसके बारे में थोड़ी सी बात की है और जब लास्ट एपिसोड में हमें टॉपिक सजेशंस मिली थी उसमें भी लोगों ने बोला था कि फैट शेमिंग, बॉडी इमेज पे बात की रहे हैं. तो आज हम इस एपिसोड में उसके बारे में बात करने लगे हैं. So Talia, what is body image and what is body shaming?
All right, so I'm going to try to let's first explain what this is. Well, body image is essentially the way, the lens through which you look at your body and how you feel about yourself and the image that you have of your body, essentially. Right? And body shaming is the exercise or the activity that desis do. बहुत शौक से हमारा फेवरेट नेशनल हॉलिडे नहीं सॉरी हमारा फेवरेट नेशनल क्या कहते हैं पास टाइम हॉबी है, पास टाइम है, लोगों की बेइज्जती करना, उनको कम फील करवाना. सो शेमिंग पीपल टू मेक समवन फील ashamed of their body and as because it does not fit a certain ideal that there exists somewhere apparently.
जैसे हमने पिछले आइडियल देसी वुमन के पॉडकास्ट में भी बात की थी कि अपीयरेंस पे बात करने का हमें इतना मजा आता है. कुछ ना हो उसके रंग पे, उसके साइज पे, जिस मर्जी इंसान के साइज रंग पे हमें बात करने का बहुत शौक है. एंड बॉडी इमेज इज दैट, राइट? दैट इज व्हाट पीपल कमेंटिंग ऑन बॉडी इज बॉडी शेमिंग. Whether it be negative or positive, you know. Why I say positive even because आप किसी की body के बारे में अगर कोई बात भी कर रहे हो, right? You're saying that is something good, whereas if this was the opposite of, if there was something opposite of that body,
you're validating something and then you're trying to say that you're okay. So then even for that person, you're stealing that person's humanity away. So मैं ये भी बात करती हूँ. So I want to talk about this a little later. But essentially what we've done in our culture, because we talk so much about the body and the body as a way of validating your personality, your accomplishments or whatever it is, आप उस इंसान को dehumanize भी करते हैं. Because what you're doing is you're saying कि भैया तुम्हारे जो मर्जी सब साइड पे, but क्योंकि तुम एक certain तरह से दिखते हो or you look a certain way, because of that you are not worthy of respect, worthy of your dignity. So all of that will be snatched from you.
Bilkul.
So you can be standing in the midst of a crowd, you could have delivered a speech, it could be your wedding, it could be your birthday or something, but there will be people feel like they have a right. Like, I want to know this, like Pakistani culture mein, or I guess South Asian culture mein, who told you, आपको किसने अर्ज किया था कि आपके पास ये राइट है कि आप किसी की बेइज्जती कर सकते हैं और किसी को बता सकते हैं कि वो मोटे लग रहे हैं, छोटे लग रहे हैं, टेढ़े लग रहे हैं, राइट? लाइक आपको किसने हक दिया, लाइक, और आपसे पूछा किसने है?
किसने पूछा? That's my concern. That's my biggest concern कि भैया आपको किसने लिफ्ट कराई है? Like किसने आपको फ्रैंक कराया है? You know, किसने आपको इजाजत दी है कि आप किसी चीज पे कमेंट कर सकते हैं, किसी इंसान की बॉडी पे, किसी इंसान की अपीयरेंस पे? और क्यों? But you know, that's a control game, right? तालिया, आप किसी को कमतर समझाओ या आप किसी को बताओ कि something is wrong with you. So, and you sort of come in that advice position कि देखो ये करोगी तो ये हो जाएगा, ये करोगी तो ये हो जाएगा. So again, a little bit of power position, right? And you're trying to control the other
100%
person.
आपने basically हम सबको ideals में fit करें ना कि कोई norms हैं, and where are these norms coming from? We'll get to that in a minute as well, right? Like कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? But before we do that, I think Mehru, why don't we unpack? Like, let's look at what are the different words that we've grown up hearing. एंड बॉडी शेमिंग के कितने फॉर्म्स हैं, ये सिर्फ मोटा या पतला नहीं होता, उसके भी हमने इतने वर्ड्स बनाए हुए हैं
एंड फ्रेजेस, राइट?
फ्रेजेस हैं, लाइक ये लेजिटिमेट लैंग्वेज के हिस्से हमारे बन चुके हैं अनफॉर्चुनेटली, राइट? एंड लेट्स थिंक अबाउट दैट, और and then we'll label what these really truly are. Mehru, do you want to take it or should I?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, body image, body shaming, fat shaming has been a very, very big part of my life. And I feel like, not that I'm an expert on it, but like for my own life, I can speak a lot to it. One of the biggest phrases मुझे अभी भी याद आ रहा है, जो मुझे एक दफा बोला गया था, and that really, really hurt me. And that was like, I think हम एक गाड़ी में जा रहे थे, और this was in the UK, so you know, ऐसे नहीं कि लाहौर में आप 5-6 लोग गाड़ी में बैठ जाओ, फिट होके गोदी में बैठ के, you know, निकल जाओ. UK maybe we were doing that because the guy whose car it was, he was just like, no, let's go in and stuff like that. So it was, I was in the back, and you know, I was like
huddled,
huddled in the back, and we were like 4 or 5 people in the back. Anyway, so while we were driving, the driver, the guy, he says, oh, तुम्हें तो transport करने के लिए truck चाहिए होगा, ठीक है? Because I was like, I was just complaining like, someone's hitting me in the back, right? And he's like, तुम्हें तो transport करने के लिए truck चाहिए होगा. And I was just like, उसमें मैं चुप हो गई. I was completely silent. Or this is not like a long time ago when fat shaming began for me. This was like maybe 2-3 years ago. So us tak मैं, like, I was woke enough. और मैं काफी बोलती थी, but उस वक्त मैं एकदम silent हो गई. So that phrase just comes to me all the time.
That person took your dignity away from you at that point.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say in that like, yeah, for sure, because I was so silent. It was just like, okay, you've taken everything, like, you know, I'm clearly nothing. However, if I was to say something to that guy in that moment, he would have been like, relax, it's just a joke. And then you can't really argue with a person like that, because he himself does not believe that he hurt someone, you know.
And why is that? That's what I want to get at, is ye kyun hai कि when people say such mean and disgusting things, why do we get like, chill kar yaar, like क्या फर्क पड़ता है, इतना
hyper क्यों हो रही हो?
Hyper क्यों हो रही हो, chill कर. Why? Because we've normalized it, because this is common, right? क्योंकि what do? अरे बच्चा बड़ी healthy नहीं होगी हो, healthy नहीं होगी. First of all, please go get a dictionary. Like, do you know what the word healthy means? Like, really? Like, we attach the word healthy to someone who is apparently like fat, right?
Or obese, and
which is interesting. Okay, being fat or like obese is like a health issue. So someone who is a heavy set person, you're still calling them healthy. Okay, so that's good. I've won the lottery. I want everybody to call me healthy.
Yeah, but I think healthy, I used to say that too for larger size people. That was because that was the Urdu or Lahori language for someone
Everybody
who
in
was
Pakistan
bigger
says it.
size.
Like,
Yeah.
healthy badi healthy
But
nahi hogi wo.
then when you think about it, you're like, actually they're not. I mean, like, why are you calling them healthy? You know, like what are you trying to say in that sense? Healthy means something completely different. So, but why are you commenting on that?
And the flip of that is, badi smart hogi ho. And smart, and it's and I was like, smartness has to do with intellect, but we use the word smart to talk about somebody who apparently has lost weight or is losing their healthiness. So if agar aap healthy nahi hai, to aap smart ho rahe hain.
Smart.
And I just want to know, like, आज मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ वो कौन सा शख्स था जिसने बैठा था, जो बैठ के अंग्रेजी सीख रहे थे कहीं पे, और वो ऑक्सफोर्ड की डिक्शनरी खोली थी उन्होंने. He's like, आहो असि ए वर्ड यूज कर रहा है कि healthy तो तुसी मोटे हो. Or but like if you maybe think about it,
yeah,
maybe going back, if we go back, maybe the concept of having plump or being heavy meant, okay, you were well fed. So then maybe that is where it's, and I don't know, maybe I'm not a historian and I have not gone back.
No, for sure. Healthy basically means that you've got a lot in your body. You've been like achhe khate pite khandan se ho.
Or you're not malnourished.
Yeah, basically, and that's what healthy means.
And then here once again too, Mehru, right? Like now let's look at the flip side. We also make fun of people like sukka chua, right? Oh, tum to like malnourished lag rahe ho. And I'm gonna talk about like even races, like, and I think we talk about these words, and I know I asked you, Mehru, I'm just gonna now jump into this. Like,
yes.
Like where this, Mehru, you can maybe talk about the words we talked about for fat, for when we want to degrade somebody for being fat or having more.
I can, yeah, go ahead.
Like, मेरे ना पेट में कुछ हो रहा है. Like, as I say this, like, I feel like I just want to like vomit because it's that disgusting. Because you know what? It's दूसरी बात ये, a person is not fat. The person has fat on their body. It is an element of their body, okay? And sometimes excessive fat can be dangerous to someone's health. Of course, it's a health risk. And जिसके पास भी fat है या जिसके पास fat नहीं है, उसको पता है.
However, it's none of our business कि उसकी body पे fat है and we need to mention it because clearly they know.
उसको BP होना है, उसको diabetes होनी है, उसने कल मरना है, उसने परसों मरना है, उसको पता है उसके साथ क्या होना है. And if you're really concerned about someone's, let's say, habit, someone's really close, and let's say someone is deeply depressed and they have an unhealthy relationship with their body, that's a different conversation. And then you need to think about, okay, how can I go and have this conversation? Like, I have had people.
Yeah, but go ahead. There's a boundary there, right? So, like, for example, first of all, you have to be really, really close to someone to actually, in my opinion, you have to be really, really close to someone to start mentioning 100%. Those things. And the other thing is, if they come to you, then of course you can open up about it. If they come to you but when you said कि उसको diabetes होनी है, उसको पता है, हाँ उसको पता है, but बहुत सारे मोटे लोगों को कुछ भी नहीं होता पूरी जिंदगी and they survive really well, you know. और मैं एक वीडियो देख रही थी उस दिन, उस पे there was this lady who was like sitting on the beach with like, you know, her like fat rolls, you know, you could see them, and she was just like a couch potato, like just like sitting there, and she was just like, hey, she took her sunglasses, that was a really cool video, she took her sunglasses out and she's like, hey, just want to let you know there are no bad angles, it's just a social construct. Because I was like no one makes a video of your fat rolls, like आपके टायर जो होते हैं पेट पे, कोई नहीं ऐसे वीडियो बनाता.
There you go. We have words for that. Tires.
Yeah, dude, I know the whole fat vocabulary. Okay, I have gone through this all my life.
But no, Mehru, like I want you to share those over here. Like what is the fat vocabulary that we have, which we think it's okay to use?
Tired, डोले, थोड़े से अगर fat arms हो उसको डोले कहते हैं, जबकि डोले are good, they're muscles, so like I don't know, cow, bhens, what else? Ganda, sand,
mota,
aloo,
katta, aloo, truck. I've heard truck. Yeah,
truck चाहिए और truck लग रही हो. Yeah, so anything that's
round.
Moti
is like the favorite word. Yeah.
If you're round,
Humpty Dumpty.
Humpty Dumpty नहीं कहा किसी ने मुझे अभी तक. I'm waiting on that one. But
I've been called Tarzan.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Like the way they said
No?
it was not like, it was like, okay there, Tarzan. Like it was just more like, like you're this, and in my head I was thinking Tarzan was hot, just like,
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that's the ideal body for a man.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like,
I was like, you're an idiot, but like the
but yeah,
person was pretty
if
stupid.
any object is round, big,
Yeah.
anything, you probably will be called that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you are of a large size, which I was and I still am. But that's the thing, right? Like, it's हमने पहले भी बात की थी कि आप क्यों किसी को ऐसे बोलते हो, because it actually hurts. और हाँ, listen, मुझे पता है कि मैं मेरे डोले हैं, मुझे पता है मेरे टायर हैं, but that's a social construct, right? Like, हमें बताया गया कि having these rolls on your body is not appealing, it's not attractive, and it comes with health risks. ये हमें बताया गया है, so we want to make sure we don't have these body rolls on our have these rolls on our body, fat rolls. um but then again, मेरा एक और point of view है कि many of the people I also know who are big, fat, with big rolls and have some health risks have lived a very long and happy life. Like, they're
It
not
has, yeah.
concerned with their body and appearance.
So I think that's a really important concept right here, Meru. Your body size has nothing to do with the quality of life that you're going to be living. You could
Exactly.
be someone who's absolutely skinny or whatever it is, or whatever you want to talk about, like, or the ideal image, or the smart hai aap smart dikhte hain. I don't know what the hell that means.
ताले, आप आज स्मार्ट लग रही हैं, आपकी आप में से इंटेलेक्चुअलनेस निकल
हाँ,
रही है
वो
बहुत.
ठीक है, वो सही है. हाँ, वो वाला स्मार्ट का मुझे कॉम्प्लीमेंट दे दो, दूसरा वाला स्मार्ट रखो संभाल के. But like, I mean, because the thing is, like, it's interesting. I've had a very complicated relationship with my own body, right?
Mhm.
And like pehle, before, like, I think I jumped into that. I think I want to, like, right now just talk about all the other terms that we have. We don't just discriminate and body shame based on just for people who are fat, right? Even the people who are, let's say, skinny, उनको भी हम उनको भी नहीं छोड़ते. सुक्की हो गई हो, तुम तो चुई हो गई हो, तुम तो अच्छा, and like, and racist term, Somalian लगती हो, I've heard, or
हाँ.
Ethiopian लगती हो, refugee लगती हो,
Oh my god.
तुम तो लगता है अफ्रीका से आई हो, like,
तुम्हारे
और
अम्मी
आप
अब्बू तुम्हारे अम्मी अब्बू तुम्हें खाना नहीं देते?
खाना नहीं देते हैं बेटा. हाँ, इस तरह की बातें. तो लाइक, अच्छा, फिर काली होगी हो, वो तो काला कव्वा, वो तो पूरा, हमें ये वो ड्रामे देख लो, उसमें हाय हाय में वो तो बिल्कुल कव्वा लगता है, वो तो ये, लाइक, आर यू किडिंग मी? लाइक, एंड where are these coming from? I've heard people say kala katta to people, like, एक आराम से, like, भैंस है तो काला हो, तो काला भी, ऊपर से भैंस की तरह मोटा भी, and like all these type of terms. या फिर आप बड़ा सुक्का चूहा, like all these, like, पता नहीं, चमगादड़, ये पता नहीं क्या क्या वर्ड्स नहीं हम लोग बोलते हैं, चूहा, और लाइक, अभी मैं बोलती हूँ, रिपीट कर रही हूँ, और
मुझे
उसके
बहुत
साथ,
हंसी आती है जब कोई चूहा बोलता है.
लेकिन फिर उसके साथ साथ, लाइक, इवन लाइक दैट आर, आप किसी की एबिलिटीज पे भी, सो समवन हु हैज अ फिजिकल डिसेबिलिटी, आप उसका भी हमने नाम बनाए हुए हैं. काना है, राइट? लाइक समवन हैज क्रॉस आइड, लंगड़ा है, लूला है, राइट? उसके पता नहीं और क्या क्या बोलते हैं,
घूंगा, तोतला.
हाँ, बेरा है, गूंगा है, अरे ये तो लाइक गंजा है, समवन's losing hair, ये तो पता नहीं, लाइक अजीब सा गाना लगता है, ये लगता है, वो लगता है, और हमारे गाने ऐसे, राइट? वो उनके बाद हम बाद में जा सकते हैं, बोलो, गो
उसमें
टू
हाँ,
गाने.
वो अभी आपने कुछ बोला ना, स्किन, मेरे पास एक और गाना आ गया.
बस हम अभी उसमें भी जाएंगे, क्योंकि हमारे कल्चर का इतना नॉर्मल हिस्सा है ना,
हमने
जिस
सब
पर मैं
चीजों के
बात
लिए
कर रही
कुछ
हूँ.
ना कोई नाम बनाया हुआ है. हमने अपनी लाइफ इतनी इजी बनाई हुई है कि हमें कुछ नजर आए, हम वी हैव अ लेबल फॉर इट. वी आर वी आर लाइक दैट एज अ
बिल्कुल.
सोसाइटी.
तो अच्छा मेरू, नाउ लाइक हमने इनके बारे में बात की, राइट? तो हम बेसिकली इंसान को ये बता रहे हैं कि तुम्हारी जो वर्थ है, इट्स अटैच्ड टू योर बॉडी. ठीक है ना,
100%.
तुम्हारी बॉडी.
बिल्कुल.
So then for you, whatever your images of your body is always going to dictate for you how you feel about yourself, right? And how you want to go ahead in life. For an up, you may be feeling on top of the world, but someone can pull you down right away, because that is how toxic this really is. So now, growing up, how can you talk about an experience, like personal experience, बात कर सकती हैं, then we can talk about the consequences at societal level, हमने क्या इसके बनाए हुए हैं. But personal level पे, Meru, do you want to share a little bit, like being a young girl growing up, let's say teenager or so, even as a kid, what did fat shaming, did it have a consequence on you, for you?
Mike, I just remember this one time कि, you know, उस वक्त when I was aware that I was being fat shamed, or like being told. That came a little bit later in life. However, I knew it had built up in me. So ek dafa like I was here in Vancouver actually, or my apni high school drama class mein, we were sitting in a circle, and we were our teacher had said like, open up about your experiences and share something you haven't talked about before, and what do you want to change about yourself, and blah blah blah. So us waqt, this was my enlightening moment or whatever. I was like, oh my god, this actually affects me. I used to be the joker of the class, and I used to make a lot of fun, and like I would take part in all the comedic roles and stuff. I used to be like that. So I never knew that when I'm going to open up about something, tears are going to come out of my eyes without me even acknowledging that I have tears coming out of my eyes, because it had hurt me so deeply. And I just opened up about how, like, no one ever like directly bullied me about being fat, or like said that I was fat in school. I'm talking about school only. But there was this understanding that I'm a bigger girl, so of course I'm not going to fit in the back with six girls. I'm going to sit in the front. I'm not going to fit into that lehenga or dress or whatever, or I will, but I will have to make a larger size. So that I knew those things. And so when I was sharing that in class, I like, tears are coming out of my eyes, and I kept talking because I didn't even know that tears were coming out of my eyes. That's how much it had affected me inside, and subconsciously I had tears coming out. And then my friends started like, friends I was sitting with, they started like holding me, they started patting my back. I was like, dude, relax, whatever, like, I'm just telling you something. And someone passed me a tissue paper, and I was like, oh, like, I'm crying. Like, this is affected me. And then I, of course, because I was a joker of the class, I had to say like, I love eating food, but like I can't stop now just because people are calling me fat. Like, I just love food, and that sort of a thing. But that actually stayed true for me. Like, I love food, and I've said this before, and I will never stop eating. I will never stop experimenting with food. I will never stop toosing myself with food. That's something that I have kept with myself. But yeah, so those were a few things that, like, ये unsaid things होती हैं, जो आपको फील में पता चल जाता है, especially जब आप pictures लेते हो अपने दोस्तों के साथ. You're like, oh, आप literally, you're looking a bit different than other girls in your pictures, and you notice that too, right? And maybe your close friends don't say that to you, Talia, but other people have said that, or like they won't comment on you, they'll comment on other people, and then they'll give you a side note like, oh, but you're looking pretty too. Two? What do you mean two? Like, it is, everybody's looking pretty no matter what, right?
तुम भी इतनी प्यारी लगती हो, तुम तो like oh god, I hate it. Okay, so
वो क्या कहते हैं डाउन प्ले करते हैं ना कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स को.
हाँ.
जैसे आपकी कजन ने आई थिंक आपको शादी पे कहा था, आपके लाइक, आप तो इतना अच्छा डांस करती हो फॉर व्हाट यू आर, राइट? लाइक, इसका क्या मतलब है भाई?
Exactly. Like, oh my god, like you have so much confidence. Like, even though, and I'm like, even though what? Right?
Yeah. So that's when, or because I was a big girl and I wanted to lose weight, I have tried like different diets as well, and honestly they didn't work out for me because I wasn't as committed to them, because I tell you, I love food. I do not give up. But there was this one diet, and I don't remember when I did it, but it was probably before I was 10 years old. Okay, I was younger, and I was just like, I'm gonna be fit, I'm gonna lose weight. And it was me eating an apple for breakfast, apple for lunch, apple for dinner. That's it. And bro, मैंने one day किया, मैं बेहोश हो गई थी lunch के बाद. ठीक है, मैं पानी और apple खा रही थी.
Who gave you that? But okay, I want to ask you,
जी जी.
why did you do that?
Because I
What
wanted
made
to.
you?
Because
How old were you, and why did you do that?
that diet, I don't know exactly, but this was before I was 10 years old, like probably पता नहीं कौन सी grade 3 4 5 में मैंने कुछ किया होगा ऐसी हरकत.
So 3 4 5, like, so I'm a former daycare operator, so work with children. So those are like that's the age that like a lot of kids that I took care of. So those are like my babies. So that hurts me to know someone, an 8-year-old child.
What was that, like 8 9 years old or 10 years old?
8. Grade 3 would be 8 years old. So 8 9 10, somebody.
Yeah.
You had that idea that you had to starve yourself to look a certain way because you were clearly not okay the way you looked.
Yeah, either like I was trying to increase my stamina or something, and I was like an apple a day. Probably saw it on the TV, an ad or something, and literally पहले दिन डाइट के मैं सुबह नाश्ते में एप्पल खाया, दोपहर में एप्पल, और उसके बाद मैं बेहोश हो गई थी। और उसके बाद द वर्स्ट इज के बंदा के अच्छा थोड़ी सी चीजें खाओ, उसके बाद अभी बेहोश होके बच्ची उठी है आराम से, नहीं आलू के पराठे, दाल, हलीम, निहारी, इसमें नान, चने, सुबह हलवा पूरी, रात को फिरनी, आइसक्रीम, इस बच्ची को खिलाओ, ये तो बेहोश ही हो गई है, ठीक है।
That's also very desi family.
या
अच्छा मुझे एक ये भी समझ हम okay, so our families are the ones that bully us the most, like fat shame the most, right? Because it's part of like our family. Like मुझे अपनी अम्मा की इतना समझ नहीं आती, right? Like for example, like my mother would like go weight lose कर लो, ये कर लो, वो कर लो, and she'd be like, अच्छा पर अभी तो पराठा खा लो, अभी तो पकौड़े खा लो, अभी तो समोसा खा लो, and I'm like I
तालिया,
don't
घर
understand.
घर की कहानी है ये। अच्छा आप मुझे बताओ अपना एक्सपीरियंस विद फैट शेमिंग बचपन में, अगर कोई आपको अब कोई इवेंट याद है या कोई एक्सपीरियंस याद है जो आपके दिमाग में हमेशा रहता है।
I think I may start crying right now, Meru. So
नहीं।
so be warned. It's been a very big part of my life, and it's been I always felt like I was not enough or I was not good enough, to the point like and it's interesting. I don't know why. Like I like performing. I always have liked being on stage. I've liked acting. I've liked presenting. बातें करने का बहुत शौक है. But every time I would go in front of a classroom, or I would try to go speak somewhere or try to be anywhere, I used to think, oh, ये सब they all are probably thinking moti moti जा रही है, इस मोटी भैंस ने क्या करना है. And I had very like I hated my body. And like in dieting, of course, I think try बहुत किया, ये हमारा जो भी होता है. कभी बीच में जब आप टीनेज होती हूँ, I did lose some weight, अच्छा लगना शुरू हो गया फिर दोबारा से. And family में like people come and pinch my like fat in my around my tires जो आप कह रहे हो, yeah, your love handle.
That's a boundary they're crossing by
हाँ,
touching
of course,
you। Yeah,
exactly, like
also
never. और हमारे कल्चर में लगता है कि आप किसी को टच कर सकते हो, पेट को आके टच कर सकते हो, ये जो भी है. एंड लाइक इस तरह के वर्ड्स लाइक ओ तुम्हें तो उठाने में लाइक यार ओ गाड़ी पीछे बैठ ही ना जाए, इस तरह के like words in
lifted
school.
चाहिए आपको उठाने
Yeah,
को। Oh my
I
god।
hated it. Like I remember trying to like go when you go to the desi stores to get kapde and nothing fits, nothing ever fits, right? And I think it's only now, like for example, like brands have started like making those really khule kurte. But for example, like remember in the 90s, if you go to Fortress Stadium or anywhere, like even the desi boutiques and stuff, they never had clothes for girls that were bigger, right? And then so I remember just like I hated the fitting rooms. I think I've cried so many times in fitting rooms, so many times I've tried, and like and I hated my body. And I think there were days like I would want to like I used to pinch myself, like sometimes I hated myself that much, right? And I want to say like up people say things, and I was never so mentally disturbed that I would do. But I remember slapping my thighs. I remember pinching my fat. Like I remember that as a teenager. Like clearly, like I hated my body, and like I just wanted to get rid of it. Like I wish, like like there would be points. Like I remember, like how can I just take this and cut it off, right? Like itna
Maybe
mujhe
this
apne
is
aap
this
se
is
hate.
sorry guys, this might be a trigger warning, but yeah, मैंने भी अपना fat
Sorry, we should probably
दिल
put a trigger warning
दिल
in.
दिल में कभी कोई I don't know, you want to hold your fat and just कभी सोचा है कि कैंची से काट दूं,
हाँ, काट दूं,
काट
वही
दूं,
तो
yeah।
था, बहुत दिल होता था. And like I used to like pinch myself, and then I should cry, and I should like कभी कोई, or it was interesting. Like कभी भी कुछ भी होता, like maybe it may even have been like I had a bad day at school, or there was an argument with somebody for something else or some other issue. But like my anger, like or disgust, I remember would like be focused towards like my arms, right? And even to like the say like you're insecure about something or the other. And it was a very long process. So, and there's people out there like hum fat shame karte hain, we bully people. There's people who've taken their lives because of just the way you've made them feel. And this has real consequences. This is why it means so much to me, right? And I think about it like I would not want to raise my child in the future in a world where they have to think that they're not enough because of the way that they look, because the world is never going to be happy no matter what you look like. चाहे आप अगर आप मोटे हो तो आप मोटे कट्टे चिट्टे हो, या अगर आप पतले हो तब तो केचुए हो, या आप like right like हर तरह से like, and you know it's we need to and the बड़ों को I don't know how much we can challenge them, but it's the ones who are the younger ones, right? And remember what you're saying. There's a child probably in the room who's listening, right?
पता है क्या, आपने जब कहा ना कि आप स्टेज पे आपको लगता था सारे आपको कह रहे हैं ये मोटी, ये स्टेज पे, ये आपके ये हमने जो सुना होता है ना जब हम दूसरों को देख रहे होते हैं, ये वहां से ही आता है. सो
ये
आपकी
वहीं
अपनी
से आता है.
फैमिली हो, आपके फ्रेंड्स हो, आपके अंकल आंटी, खाला फप्पो चाचा व्हाटएवर, ये उन लोगों ने बोला होता है. फॉर एग्जांपल टीवी पे देख रहे हैं, ओ इस मोटी को रोल कैसे मिल गया, इस काले को ये हीरो का रोल कैसे मिल गया. ये बातें क्या कहते हैं आपने सबकॉन्शियसली आपके ब्रेन में होती हैं. तो जब आप खुद करते हो ऐसा कुछ, आपको डर लगता है और आप सोचते हो कि अच्छा अगर किसी और के बारे में वो बोल सकते हैं तो प्रॉब्ली कई लोग मेरे बारे में भी वो बोल रहे हैं.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember like also being so insecure, like after every time I'd get ready, I never say, oh, I look beautiful today. And it's interesting, like I think I always like getting dressed up a lot. Mehru has seen a video of me with my blue eyeshadow, right? Like come on, back in the early 2000s, probably बहुत बुरा eyeshadow, लेकिन जो भी था खैर.
अब तो बहुत इन है.
Everybody would like I would still look good, but I never would say, oh, I'm looking beautiful today. Like but I would say, oh, अच्छा, am I looking fat? I would always say that. Like, नहीं इतनी प्यारी लग रही हो, रोहित रहने तो उसका कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, तुम इतनी प्यारी हो, right? So but I did that because I was insecure about my body. So to get a compliment from other people, I would want them to say नहीं, like I would want people to like comfort me कि मैं fat नहीं लग रही हूँ, ठीक है? And
dude, मैंने कितनी दफा बोला है मैं तैयार होके निकली, मोटी तो नहीं लग रही मैं, and I feel so bad. मैंने खुद ये बोला है, अच्छा मैं मोटी तो नहीं, इस साइड से मोटी तो नहीं लग रही, मुझे बता दे, मैं अभी फिक्स कर लेती हूँ. What the hell? And one more thing I struggle with, I don't know Talia if you have taken compliments now. Like अगर कोई आपको बोले beautiful, you're looking very beautiful, like तुम बहुत खूबसूरत हो, like really though? Like you're like that's very nice of you, but
क्योंकि हमें लगता है कि हमेशा, because we're used to not getting compliments, right? And we're used to it being like an underhanded thing.
या बिल्कुल, या आपने अपने लाइक अपनी बॉडी में, अपनी अपीयरेंस में इतना ट्रस्ट ही नहीं डाला, यू नॉट कॉन्फिडेंट इनफ कि कोई आपको कॉम्प्लीमेंट दे सके. क्योंकि आपने अपने लिए एक स्टोरी बनाई हुई है, देयर इज अ नैरेटिव राइट, कि you have not fit that ideal body type, so of course no one will compliment you, and if someone's complimenting you, they're just being nice.
Yeah, and I think I remember like there's a couple of like moments. Like I remember once was in university, so I think I'm undergrad, and we were just having like a back in the day, I think probably Skype. I can't remember, probably Skype. We were having a study session or something, and I was like, "Oh my god, I look so fat." And like a friend of mine said, like when people ask these questions, like, "What do you want us to say?" Obviously, you know the answer, right? So she was saying like, "Yeah, you know you look fat, right?" So it's like she was honest, and but it kind of was like, oh, like that was the first time where my insecurity somebody did not validate it, right? So I remember that point. And then I think a couple like 2-3 years ago or something, I was walking, and I've had like a bit of a health journey in the last year, a year and a half. But about 2 years ago or so, I remember I was walking. I was after a festival, or somewhere, and I was walking with a friend of mine, and he's actually tall too, so he's walking a lot faster than me, and I was struggling to keep up, and I guess I was breathing. He's like sort of weight lose kar lo, right? And it was just like, it kind of makes you, or like, my own like bhai, like your brothers, like they will say things all the time, like just underhand comments. And this like fat shaming, where in our culture, like there is no like gender, what we can say, जहाँ पे
औरतों के साथ ही हो ना, मर्दों के साथ भी बहुत होता है.
मर्दों को भी हम कहते हैं. और I mean इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में तो लाइक आदमियों को भी लगता है कि वो आपको आके बोल सकते हैं, राइट? लाइक वैसे लाइक इन आवर कल्चर देयर इज लाइक दिस सेंस ऑफ लाइक डेकोरम के आदमी aren't going to have certain type of conversation with girls. But like all these turkey uncles as well, everybody out there, they're like, oh बेटा कुछ ज्यादा हेल्दी नहीं हो गई हो ये वो. एंड इट्स लाइक, अंकल आपको किसने हक दिया है कि आप मुझसे आके ये बात कर सकते हैं या पूछ सकते हैं? लाइक आप तो पीछे ही हो जाए. आपने अपना बियर बेली देखा है?
सब अंकल्स का ऑलमोस्ट बियर बेली होता है, जो फिट होते हैं. जो बियर बेली वाले अंकल होते हैं ना, वो कहते हैं यार उसको देखो कितना फिट है अपनी एज के लिए, मुझे भी करना पड़ेगा. एक फनी बात ये कि मेरी फैमिली में पता नहीं क्या कोई डिजीज है, कोई जेनेटिकली कोई है, कोई डिजीज है मेरी फैमिली में कि क्योंकि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हम कनाडा में रहते हैं ना, तो मैं अपनी जो मेरी क्लोज फैमिली है वो पाकिस्तान या यूके में रहती है, तो मैं उनसे काफ़ी देर बाद मिलती हूँ. सो इट्स नॉट लाइक हर महीने हम मिल रहे होते हैं, 1 साल 2 साल 4 साल ऐसे उसके बाद मिलते हैं। तो पता नहीं कोई मेरी फैमिली में डिजीज है कि जिसको भी मैं मिलती हूँ ना कोई 4 साल बाद या 5 साल बाद, द फर्स्ट थिंग दे से टू मी, जब मैं अस्सलाम वालेकुम कहती हूँ या कुछ मैं कहती हूँ, द फर्स्ट, हाय तुम्हें क्या हो गया है, हाय तुमने कितना वेट गेन कर लिया है ना, जैसे सवाल पूछ रहे हैं। और मैं यार आई एम लाइक शॉक्ड कि मेरी फैमिली का पहला सवाल ये नहीं होता बेटा क्या हाल है, कैसी हो, कितना अरसा हो गया मिले नहीं, जबकि मैं पॉजिटिव थॉट से मैं उनके बारे में आपका क्या हाल है, इतने साल हो गए हैं मिले, तुम्हें क्या हो गया है, वेट गेन कर लिया ना तुमने, लाइक क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं। और मैं इसका क्या जवाब दूं,
मुझे पता ही नहीं था।
लाइक मैं इसका क्या जवाब, जी 4 साल बहुत मेहनत की है, बहुत वेट गेन की है, अल्लाह का शुक्र है आज मैं इस मुकाम तक पहुंच चुकी हूँ कि आपने नोटिस किया, बड़ी मेहरबानी है आपकी। लाइक बंदा क्या बोले इस पे,
इतने स्टूपिड और बिजार कमेंट्स। आई रिमेम्बर मेरी एक कजिन है ना, उसकी शादी हो रही थी, और ये नहीं कि वो मोटी है कुछ भी, वो बल्कि ठीक ठाक थी, इन द सेंस कि वो स्मार्ट है,
स्मार्ट,
तो और गोरी चिट्टी भी है, तो जो भी, आई गेस उसकी ना शादी के 1 हफ्ता पहले या कुछ ना, शी हैड अ पिंपल ऑन हर फेस। So somebody goes to her and says, ये क्या हुआ तुम्हारे चेहरे पे, तो पिंपल निकल आए हैं, राइट? और शादी अगले हफ्ते, राइट? तो like, दाने निकले हुए हैं, एंड देन शी इज लाइक, वो भी उसने इतना अच्छा सड़ा हुआ जवाब दिया था, आगे से कहती है, हाँ लोगों की नजर लग गई है।
ओ माय, सही कहा बिल्कुल, ओ माय गॉड, दैट इज दैट इज
मगर आप सोचो वो लड़की शादी के स्ट्रेस में कितनी होगी, और आप ऊपर से आगे
और एक पिंपल
और
पे,
एक पेपर पे, और उस बेचारी को ऑलरेडी होगा, लाइक कम ऑन थिंक अबाउट इट, आपकी लाइक कई दफा लड़कियां, लाइक यू हैव दैट ड्रीम ऑफ द शादी एंड ऑल दैट, आपने कितना खर्चा किया होगा त्याग।
and to be honest, if she's had clear skin for a while, having one pimple must be like
A big thing.
yeah,
It's
that she
crazy.
must be terrorized by that. And that is another thing, acne, right? So almost her teenager ko, almost that I know, hormonal acne hoti hai with age, puberty, whatever,
Good.
right? And myself, I've had acne for a while, and mine was from a reaction from a face mask that I used. Actually, it was like a face scrub that I had used, and
Not the COVID face mask.
not
That's
the
what
COVID face mask.
that's what I was thinking. The,
No, no,
अच्छा,
no.
the
It was
facey
like,
mask.
yeah, a few years ago, and my skin just turned red, and it was, so I started putting a lot of makeup on. I had to cover it because I've had clear skin for such a long time, and all of a sudden it's red and like bumps on my face. So I started covering it. So मैं school जाती थी, like सुबह 7 बजे की क्लास के लिए ताला मेरे full face makeup होता था, ठीक है? रात की job के लिए मेरा full face makeup होता था. I had to keep like a makeup kit with me. I've covered it. I always did. And then किसी दिन like कोई घर आ रहा होता था, out of the blue. So like sometimes I didn't have makeup on. And the first thing which I feared, the aunties would be like, हाय तुम्हारे फेस को क्या हो गया है, तुम्हें मुल्तानी मिट्टी लगाओ, मुल्तानी मिट्टी लगाओ। और एक दफा तो मैं बहुत तंग आ गई, मैं कहा आंटी आप अपनी मिट्टी जाके ड्राई वॉल में डालें, ठीक है? I don't
Did you
want your
say it?
mitti. Yeah,
Did you say?
but I don't think they understood my
Guys, okay, everybody, okay, we are, whoever is listening, let's take a moment right now. एक second. This is a moment to honor the Mehru Nisa Mohsen. क्या जवाब है, this is the जवाब of the year. आंटी आप अपनी मिट्टी लेके दीवार में लगाए, love it मेरू, क्या बात है, दिल खुश हो गया है।
नहीं, but seriously इतनी मैं frustrated हो गई थी। उसके बाद तालिया, I stopped putting makeup on. I was like, this is my face, accept it the way it is. You want to give me like these annoying, rude comments on my face? I have like so many comebacks for you, so bring it on. उसके बाद I like, अब मैं सुबह काम पे भी जाती हूँ ना, I don't put makeup on. First I used to, and now I don't. Maybe I'll put like, eyebrows on or like eyeliner, just look presentable. But now I don't cover my pimples because they're part of my face and I can't do anything about it. And I've tried really hard, and they're slowly going away, but like this is it, right? Like अब मैं अपने हार्मोन्स को कैसे रोकूं? मैं अपने हार्मोन्स को कॉल करके यार आज ना पिंपल निकालना, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? This is a natural thing and we have to accept it.
No,
So
बिल्कुल. And I think these are just things we have to like let people know about. Like, आप किसी की body के part, like they no, you have no right to tell anybody anything, right?
बिल्कुल.
And I think another thing is like health is a big concept, right? Of course, like with body and there's whatever irregularities there are, we know, right? I'm just going to emphasize that about, like, we're not here to say okay, live an unhealthy lifestyle or don't get
बिल्कुल,
yourself treated or something like that. No, but
बिल्कुल.
it's not going to come from when you hate a place where you hate yourself, right? So like I remember like with my hair, like because I had really curly hair and a lot of hair
Mm-hmm.
when I was a teenager. So people say चिड़ियों का घोंसला उफला ये क्या है बाल ऐसे हैं वैसे हैं. And I talked about this in the past podcast, so I won't talk about it too much. But I
Mm-hmm.
remember like spending hours trying to straighten my hair. And I wanted to figure something out. And because the straighteners were not strong enough because my hair was that thick,
Yeah.
my cousin, I remember, would lay me down on the bed and she would use the istri or like the iron to iron my hair to make it straight, right? Like the women go through so much pain. And I think another thing, like right now, like if we look at social media, मुझे इतना खौफ आता है कि लड़कियां filter के बिना अपनी photo नहीं लगा सकती. Like you are so insecure about your body and your face that you cannot take an image without a filter. Like I understand certain filters that are color just to
Mm-hmm.
that, but those other filters, like
The
the ones
jawline
where the
shape हो जाती
jawline, your
है.
nose, your waist, that is really I think it's a problem. I think, and it's coming from misogyny and
Patriarchy. It's not the like आपकी like again ताले और मैं ये नहीं कह रही कि आपकी गलती आप फिल्टर्स यूज करते हैं बट ये हमने रिकग्नाइज किया है कि ये क्यों करते हैं क्योंकि हमें बताया गया है कि हमारा नाक पतला होना चाहिए हमारी डबल चिन नहीं होनी चाहिए हमें गोरा चिट्टा लगना चाहिए हमारी आंखें खूबसूरत बड़ी बड़ी
yeah.
होने वाली चूई
And like,
वाली आंखें नहीं होनी चाहिए
do you see like those Barbies or those dolls on those Disney's princesses? They're with their big busts, and like we're all trying to become these Disney princesses. Those are
yeah
not real women.
yeah
Please, like we have to understand that. And what I find really scary now is people will use those filters for younger girls, like little kids, even toddlers. And right, like
yeah
I saw this like image of like toddler or a baby with like chiseled jaw and like this nose like up with like a highlighter, and I'm like, no, like what
these
are
are
we doing?
yeah
We're like people go under the knife, Botox, pata nahi, lip fillers, and everybody आजकल तो जिसको टीवी पे देखो lip fillers के साथ है, and I'm like, really?
यार ये
Like
सारे
why
ब्यूटी
are we
स्टैंडर्ड्स
so
हमें
insecure?
बचपन से सिखाए गए हैं और अभी तक यही प्रमोट होते हैं अच्छा ये बात आप फिल्टर्स की कर रही हो मेरी आई हैव सम फ्रेंड्स फॉलोअर्स ऑन इंस्टाग्राम जो अपनी फोटोज को प्रॉपर फोटोशॉप करते हैं देयर इज लाइक दिस ब्यूटी ऐप और व्हाटएवर ठीक है उस पे फोटोशॉप करते हैं नाउ थोड़ा सा Photoshop for brightening, for color, background, I understand. But when you start tweaking your waist and you start tweaking your face, there's some like that is not natural, right? And that's you're changing something that's like your face. Plus, the funny side of it is ताले अगर आपने कहीं देखी हो pictures मैंने कहीं देखी हैं जिन्होंने अपनी waist or face को tweak किया है like so basically the app can let you like stretch in and out and kind of move it like that you know what I mean and the funny thing is that I have seen pictures where people have snatched their waist और पीछे एक पोल होता है या दीवार होती है वो because इतनी गंदी एडिटिंग की है दीवार भी ऐसे जा रही है और पोल भी ऐसे जा रहे हैं वेस्ट के साथ so you're like अच्छा एडिटिंग करनी थी तो यार अच्छी करती इतनी गंदी एडिटिंग के पता चल रहा है कि फुल एडिटेड है और फिर the worst is also कि आप there's a group of people it's a picture और आपने everybody's looking natural वगैरह मगर आपने अपनी face को edit किया हुआ है बहुत ज़्यादा और पता चल रहा है कि fake है ये because apps are fake like apps don't show the real natural face but and I always laugh at that and laughter is because it looks funny but also because यार कि you do not accept yourself for what you are but it's not your fault I understand that because ये हमारी patriarchy ने हमें सिखाया गया है कि खूबसूरत लगना चाहिए पिक्चर्स में अगर सारी खूबसूरत लग रही है आपको भी खूबसूरत लगना चाहिए फेस
और खूबसूरत क्या है खूबसूरत वो है जो आपने it's these male fantasies to
बिल्कुल
look a certain way to be heavy bust to be have heavy bust and then have a small waistline to have like this chiseled jawline it's like screw all of those beauty standards that is not the reality of what a woman is you're beautiful just the way you are and to
exactly
champion it and like I was going to talk about health right for me I feel I'm so healthy now. Like my routine, Mehru, like where I wake up in the
figs
morning and
and
I do
dates
my yoga and like I live off of figs and dates, or I like my whole relationship with my body changed because I wanted to nourish my body, because I started looking at my body, started saying thank you to my body.
Hmm.
Like, my body is the only home that I'm going to live in for the rest of my life. My body is what is going to allow me to experience everything. So when I put something in my body now, I think of it from a point of view, I'm going to nourish it, I'm going to thank you. And a
बिल्कुल.
lot of us have eating disorders. So when we eat out of like anxiety, हम क्या खा रहे हैं, क्यों खा रहे हैं, हम लोग अगर मैकडोनल्ड्स खा रहे हैं, या हम बर्गर्स पे बर्गर्स खा रहे हैं, या वो डोनट्स खा रहे हैं, क्यों? These, I when you start, I started having those conversations. I'm not going to shame anybody for that, right? Because I've done all of that, I understand, and kabhi kabhar you need to do that. But then I know, okay, today I'm eating this because I'm still maybe at a place where I'm using food to comfort me. और हमने अपने आप को, लिसन, हमारे जो हेल्दी खान, लाइक अब पराठा अंडा, लाइक बिरयानी चावल अपनी अम्मा ने बनाए हैं, बहुत है, आप क्यों नहीं खा सकते हैं? सब कुछ खा सकते हैं, मगर हमारी जो रिलेशनशिप विद फूड है, हम उसको भी अगर देखें, वो एक अलग episodes हैं, या वो अलग बातें. Actually, I think it's a good podcast on that too that we can refer, which is the Pakistan Experience has a good podcast on that too, if
Nutrition and
anyone's
food.
interested.
But yeah, basically आप
Yeah,
sad
on
हो, आपके अम्मी अब्बू आपको खाना ला देते हैं. अच्छा तुम sad हो, तुम्हें ये खाना खिला देते हैं.
exactly.
ठीक
तो आप
है,
उसको
there's comfort
associate,
there, there's situational comfort there, but it's not long-term comfort there because these are
आपने अपनी
unhealthy foods.
anxiety को address नहीं किया, and then people are bulimic. People
Yeah.
are bulimic, anorexic. These are all health issues that can someone it can and people can die from these issues, right?
बिल्कुल.
So we can talk about that. That's something very different. But जब आपने पूरी अपनी validation, your whole validation as your experience is to आपकी body कैसे दिखती है, no, that's not going to be okay. So I remember like a couple of years ago, I was like, I'm fine, मैं ठीक हूँ जैसी भी हूँ, and I was gaining a bit more weight at that time, and I was like, I'm fine, I don't care. Like I remember I was going for a conference, and he's like, थोड़ा सा weight lose कर लो ना. And then I went to Pakistan after, like, I think a couple of years, actually a year or a half, and it was between a master's program research and then right after that work. So it was like a big heavy workload on me, right? So of course, like, I had let go of myself and I was not in a good place. So no, I was not living a healthy lifestyle, but of course I had gained weight. मैं अंधी नहीं हूँ, मुझे पता है, मुझे नजर आ रहा है. So I remember I go to my friends and she's like, a friend के अब्बू मुझे कहते हैं, बेटा तुम्हें क्या हो गया, तुम तो इतनी ठीक थी पहले, इतनी ठीक हो गई थी. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know. I just came here to like present a paper. I didn't know that I'm not ठीक.
हाँ, और funny
But
बात
like,
ये है कि एज के साथ यार weight gain होता है. एज के साथ बहुत like
अच्छा
आपकी body grow
अच्छा अब
करती
एक
है.
up now, I know friends of mine and I know myself as well, like, a couple of my friend of mine who are really really accomplished women, like they're killing it, right? And they're not married. And then, so like I've heard, like, people, my own family, be like, हाँ मैं उसको सोचना चाहिए ना, कुछ lose कर ले weight, ये इस तरह तो नहीं होएगा. And in my head I'm thinking, you're assuming that nobody wants to marry her, but you have no idea that she probably does not want to marry any of those lallu panju anjus that you're bringing for her.
That's also misconception. Right? Like, you think fat people don't have lovers out there, but they do actually.
They do. Like, let's talk about like
नहीं नहीं
आपने go ahead Mehru.
आपने मेल फैंटेसीज के बारे में बात की थी, तो मेल फैंटेसी से मुझे ट्रांजिशन आया टू इनटू आवर सॉन्ग्स, फैट शेमिंग सॉन्ग्स, ठीक है, जो हम सुनते हैं.
उसी पे भी that's what I was going to say.
Yes.
ये fat shaming songs or that set these beauty standards for us, right?
बिल्कुल.
मेरू गाने बताओ.
अच्छा मैं तो अर्ज किया है जिसकी बीवी मोटी उसका भी बड़ा नाम है, जिसकी something like बिस्तर पे लिटा दो गद्दे का क्या काम है,
गद्दे का क्या काम है.
Exactly.
We sing this during a शादी. जिसकी बीवी काली उसका भी बड़ा नाम है, आंखों में समा लो कजरे का क्या
काजल.
Like, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly.
काजल कजरा, whatever they want to call it. Like,
गोरी चिट्टी हो, पतली हो, लंबी हो, छोटी हो,
हाँ,
हर चीज का लाइक स्टैंडर्ड बनाया इस गाने में. अच्छा, और दूसरा गाना तालिया जो आपने बोला था, सीने से लगाने वाली हो,
वो क्या रहा है, एक वो नहीं है, चाहे गोरी हो चाहे काली हो बस सीने से लगाने वाली. Like, are you kidding me?
इतना
Like,
मसला
what the hell does that mean?
this song is also very complex because he is accepting both Gori ya Kali, but he's saying because other people don't
Because
accept Kali, I will accept Kali just because I want someone
हाँ
from my senior wali. Uh, क्या मतलब क्या है? तो ये ब्यूटी स्टैंडर्ड यहाँ हो गया. फिर मैंने एक और गाना भी सोचा था जब आप कलर स्किन के बारे में बात कर रही थी, और उस वक्त मेरे दिमाग में आया था जैसे वो गाना है, हम काले हैं तो क्या हुआ दिल वाले हैं. मतलब कि बेचारों को पता है कि वो काले हैं तो उनको कोई लड़की नहीं मिलने वाली. दैट्स व्हाई दे हैव टू सिंग कि हम दिल तो है हमारा, प्लीज हमारे बारे में सोचो.
and like come on guys, Black Lives Matter and stuff, like आप फिर उसके बाद खड़े होते हो लेकिन आपको ये नहीं पता, like these type of thing, हम जलने वाले का मुंह काला, like ऐसे words हमने बनाए हुए हैं, all of
बिल्कुल.
these. And like I just had this other song, like you know, even like I can't
यो
even
यो हनी सिंह.
यो यो हनी सिंह का भी है, लेकिन पाकिस्तान का जो बड़ा फेमस गाना है उसमें चीने आते फीने आ तो थोड़ी सी शिकायत है, राइट? लाइक हम नाक पे भी फीना किसी का नाक
Oh,
बोल के उसके भी लाइक आर यू किडिंग मी? अच्छा, मोटे का तो इतना गाना है ना, वो जो यो यो हनी सिंह का गाना है, एक तो सबसे पहले लाइक दिस अ गाना, दिस इज लक 28 कुड़ी द 47 वेट कुड़ी द, आई जस्ट वांट
किस
has
लड़की
anyone
का?
taken a measurement of what ये लड़की भी है, ये जिदा भी है, luck 28, like can we measure luck 28 and 47 weight? And can you imagine कोई लड़की, छोटी लड़की, teenager जो गाना सुन रही है, she's probably like, मुझे I have to be luck 28 to be accepted by Yo-Yo Honey Singh. Like Yo-Yo Honey Singh, go to hell. Like no one's asking you to
जानू.
like anybody. Like are you?
जानू आपके
और
स्टैंडर्ड्स
अच्छा फिर
बहुत
उसके
लो
अंदर,
हैं.
अच्छा फिर उस गाने में
जो यो
exactly,
यो
and
हनी
उस
सिंह से
गाने में
एक्सेप्ट
वो
होना
क्या
चाहती
word
है.
आता है? um वो गाना इसमें, मोटी दा ब्याह हो गया तू
तू
रह
रह
गई
गई
कुंवारी.
कुंवारी.
Like are you kidding? Like I mean,
Like,
are you kidding me?
is that like a
Like
play on fat people that
like
they can get married and
yeah, like it's like कि हाँ वो उन, अगर उसकी भी शादी होगी तो तुम रहेगी, like शर्म कर लो.
yeah.
Like really?
एक और बात मुझे
I mean,
याद
are you
आती है,
kidding me?
जब कोई मेरे पास बहुत कम बैक्स हैं, जैसे मैंने बोला, अगर आपको कोई मोटा, ये गाइस पब्लिक सर्विस अनाउंसमेंट है कि अगर आपको कोई स्ट्रगल है लाइफ में फैट शेमिंग के साथ, तो प्लीज़ मुझे मैसेज कीजिए. मैं आपको बहुत सारी कम बैक्स दूंगी और बहुत सारी एडवाइस दूंगी इस बात पे कि आप लोगों से क्या कह सकते हैं. तो मेरे पास बहुत एक दो अच्छे कम बैक्स हैं. आई वुड लाइक टू से दैट. एक मैंने वीडियो देखी थी तालिया, जिसमें एक fat girl and she was sitting hanging out with her cousins and everything, and the cousins and then they were talking about getting married and stuff like that. So the patli cousin on the side, she was like, थोड़ी पतली हो जाओ तुम्हारी शादी हो जाएगी, ठीक है? And the fat girl, oh I love her so much, and she was like just so outspoken and stuff. The fat girl was like, ओए कटरीना कैफ भी सिंगल है अभी, ठीक है? Like,
Oh, वो मेरे तो I sent you that video.
yeah,
Remember I
yeah,
sent you
yeah.
that video. She,
Yes.
you know,
And
she was like, अरे भाई कटरीना कैफ का भी कुछ नहीं हो रहा. Yeah, I forgot the handle.
that
It was such an amazing.
that is so funny. And then my other one is that अगर कोई आपको मोटा के, especially कोई uncle or auntie, and they will burn at this comeback, ठीक है? They will burn. Okay, are you ready, Talia?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Ready as I'll ever be.
All you have to say, जी, of course मैं pregnant हूँ. The uncle aunties will be like speechless. They'll be like, तुम pregnant हो? They will be speechless. Oh my god, I have so many. But anyway, these are a few. Like, start with those guys. If someone is annoying you in your life and calling you fat and stuff, please say these things. These will
I remember मेरा एक cousin था, उसको किसी ने बोला इतने मोटे हो गए, कुछ करो, क्या करो, खाते हो तो कहता है अपने बाप का खा रहा हूँ, आपका तो नहीं खा रहा.
I'm gonna use that one. I'm gonna use that one. I'm gonna thank you for that.
Like,
I will use
honestly,
that.
guys, like, okay, I think हमने आज बहुत अर्ज कर लिया मेरू. That was pretty good. That was a pretty good episode.
But I would like to end on saying कि अर्ज
दिल
किया
पूरा
है.
हो गया.
बिल्कुल. I would like to say कि अर्ज किया है कि everybody has weight on their body. Everybody has some sort of insecurities about themselves. You don't have to point it out. So if anything's with appearance, with fat or whatever, slimness, thinness, whatever, or rang shang color of the skin, do not have to point it out. It is none of our business, none of your business. Please refrain from that. However, yes, if someone comes with you an actual concern, of course, open up and talk about it, but stop commenting on other people's bodies and face. Do not do that. That is not nice. That's not an integral move. थोड़ी से कुछ और बातों किसी और चीज़ के बारे में बात करो, राइट? तो आइडियाज़ के बारे में बात करो, किताबों के बारे में बात करो, मूवीज़ के बारे में बात करो, टिकटॉक के बारे में बात करो, बट वेट और शक्ल पे ना जाओ. ये आपका वो नहीं है, एक्सपर्टीज नहीं है, ठीक है? सो स्टे अवे फ्रॉम दैट. ये मैंने अर्ज किया आज के लिए.
अर्ज किया है,
इरशाद.
अर्ज किया है, आपसे किसी ने नहीं मशवरा लिया, आपसे किसी ने मशवरा नहीं लिया, अपनी राय अपने पास रखें. बहुत शुक्रिया.
बिल्कुल. और इसी टॉपिक पे एंड करते हैं. थैंक यू सो मच तालिया फॉर जॉइनिंग मी ऑन दिस एब्सोल्यूट फन. मुझे तो बड़ा मजा आया, इवन दो यू नो हमने पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस थोड़ा सा शेयर किया है, बट आई थिंक हम इस लेवल तक पहुंच चुके हैं कि अब हमें रोना नहीं आता. आई थिंक हाँ, अभी हम थोड़ा डीप जाएंगे तो शायद थोड़ा सा रोना आ जाए, बट हम इतने कंफर्टेबल हो चुके हैं कि हम इस चीज़ के बारे में बात कर सकते हैं. और जो लोग मैं ऑफ कोर्स पॉडकास्ट से पहले ट्रिगर वार्निंग लिखूंगी इस वाले के लिए, और जो लोग इस बातों के साथ रिलेट कर सके, प्लीज हमारी वीडियो को लाइक करें. और
And if you're someone who's had an experience with someone who's shamed you when you've been body shamed, please share with us. We want to hear. Please send us DM on Instagram or comment below on the video on YouTube or on Spotify, wherever you're listening to us right now, on Google Podcasts. Give us a review, reach out to us, let us know your experiences. We want to know, how has it affected you, or how has it affected people in your life? And also, if you have some good comebacks for people, like, please give us some comebacks. Like,
that's what I want to know.
Please, how have you challenged it? Tell us. Like, हमने बहुत कुछ कोशिश की हुई है, कई दफा मुंह पे थप्पड़ ही पड़े हुए हैं.
हाँ, एंड पे आप कुछ नहीं बोल सकते कभी, but yes, that's a really good question to ask them. So yeah, give us suggestions of what we can say to people, and of course we will put them out for other people to learn, because you know everybody's struggling with something and they need to have comebacks for this. You should be able to speak for yourself. So इसीलिए. But yeah, so please like us on like this video on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Spotify,
and share.
Yes.
Please share. Please
share with someone who might be struggling with body image, right? And let them know that there's more people out there who's struggling with body image, and here are some comebacks that you can do if someone is annoying you. So yeah, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Arz Kiya Hai, and follow us on Instagram, which is Arz Kiya Hai podcast. We love to interact with everybody. Our DMs are always open, so message us. We will get back to you.
Bye-bye.